Have you ever thought about how the way you carry yourself or the habits you have as you grow older might impact how others perceive you? It's easy to think that certain behaviors, like being honest or comfortable in your own skin, are harmless and natural. However, sometimes, without realizing it, we may unknowingly develop habits that push others away or make them uncomfortable. In our younger years, we might have been more attuned to our actions, more sensitive to how our behavior affected those around us. But as we age, we may settle into certain patterns that we might not even notice, or that might not have seemed to matter before. The truth is, these seemingly small habits can often make a huge difference in how we're experienced by others. In fact, they can influence our relationships with family, friends, and even strangers, even when no one directly says anything. But by recognizing and reflecting on these habits, we can reclaim a sense of grace, dignity, and respect that we deserve, allowing us to enhance the way we interact with the world. This video will highlight 12 behaviors you may be unknowingly practicing that everyone notices but no one ever tells you about. We're not talking about physical appearance or how you look. Instead, we're addressing things like personal habits and actions that impact the way others engage with you. These are habits that can quietly diminish your confidence and make you feel more isolated. They can also chip away at the respect and dignity you've earned over a lifetime. But here's the good news. Most of these habits are completely changeable. The first step is becoming aware of them. By the end of this video, you'll not only know what to look for, but also how to shift these behaviors to carry yourself with more confidence, clarity, and grace as you continue to age. So stay with me till the end, because you may realize that even small changes can make a big difference, not just in how others experience you, but more importantly, how you experience yourself. Number 1, neglecting personal hygiene. One of the first things that people pick up on, whether it's family, friends, or even strangers, is when someone stops taking care of their personal hygiene. It's not about major neglect. It's about the small things that people may notice. It's wearing the same clothes for several days in a row, having hair that's messy or hasn't been brushed for a while, fingernails that are getting a bit too long, or a faint smell that lingers a little too long after you leave the room. These small details seem minor, but they speak volumes. Hygiene isn't just about cleanliness. It's a reflection of how we carry ourselves. In our younger years, we often maintained good hygiene without thinking about it. But as we get older, energy decreases, routines shift, and we might begin thinking, what's the point anymore? That subtle shift can go unnoticed by us, but others do take note. They may not say anything, especially younger family members who don't want to embarrass you. Instead, they simply adjust. They might sit a little farther away, shorten the length of a visit, or stop initiating hugs. What they're responding to isn't you, but the message that your self-care or lack of it is sending. It might suggest that you've given up a bit, that perhaps you don't value yourself as much as you once did. And here's the truth that no one openly says. When you stop taking care of yourself, others may start to treat you with less warmth and respect. But you don't have to be a fashion model or wear expensive perfume to fix this. A simple fresh shirt, clean hair, and neatly trimmed nails are enough. These actions send a message. I'm still here. I still care. I still respect myself and you. Hygiene is a reflection of the energy you bring into the world, and when you take care of yourself, others will be more likely to reciprocate that care. This small habit makes a significant difference in how people interact with you. Number 2, speaking without a filter. As we age, something interesting happens. The inner voice that once told us to hold back, to think twice before speaking, seems to fade. We start to feel like we've earned the right to speak our minds more freely. But here's the thing, sometimes what feels like being honest can come across as blunt, harsh, or even insensitive. If you've noticed that people around you pause, shift uncomfortably, or avoid making eye contact when you speak, it might be a sign that you're crossing the line from honesty to criticism. It's a fine line, but over time, constant bluntness can push people away. You might think, I'm just being honest, or back in my day, we weren't so sensitive. But the truth is, honesty without compassion often sounds like criticism, and that can unintentionally drive people away. They may stop inviting you to certain events or keep their conversations short. They love you, but they are trying to protect themselves from the sting of careless remarks. You don't need to censor every word, but it's important to pause before speaking and ask yourself, is this helpful? Is this kind? The beauty of growing older is that with wisdom comes the opportunity to speak with kindness. People will appreciate your wisdom even more when it's wrapped in empathy and respect. When you speak with kindness, people will listen, connect, and appreciate the depth of your words. Number 3, wearing clothes that don't fit anymore. As we age, there's comfort in routine. We find comfort in the familiar, wearing the same clothes, having the same breakfast, following the same daily paths. But sometimes our clothing choices start to reflect a certain detachment from the present. You may not notice it, but loose pants, shirts that are too tight, shoes that no longer hold their shape, these things speak volumes. They tell others that you might have stopped paying attention to yourself. It's not about following fashion trends. It's about showing that you still care about how you present yourself to the world. When people see that you're wearing clothes that fit well, that reflect your current self and show self-respect, they respond with admiration. It's not about vanity, it's about dignity. A well-fitting pair of jeans or a shirt that complements your natural coloring can change how people treat you. Even if they don't directly comment, they will notice. People will treat you with more respect because the way you dress says, I'm still here, I'm still paying attention, I'm still proud of who I am. And that message, subtle as it is, leaves a lasting impact. Number 4, interrupting or dominating conversations. We all want to feel heard, especially as we grow older. Having lived through so many experiences, we often feel we have valuable insights and knowledge to share. However, in our eagerness to share, we can sometimes forget to leave space for others to speak. It can start innocently, a conversation where you feel you have a relevant story or a helpful piece of advice. But before you know it, you've dominated the discussion for minutes without giving anyone else a chance to speak. This habit often comes from a place of wanting to help or impart wisdom, but it can unintentionally shut others down. When you continually take over the conversation, people start to withdraw. They might stop calling as often, cut conversations short, or avoid deeper topics altogether. Not because they don't care, but because they feel like they're not being truly listened to. It's not about speaking less, but about listening more. It's about giving others the opportunity to express themselves fully before jumping in with advice. A great way to do this is by asking questions instead of answering them right away. Let the conversation breathe and resist the urge to share your perspective unless it's asked for. When people feel truly heard, they feel respected and valued. It strengthens relationships, making others want to come to you for advice and sharing, rather than feeling like they must brace themselves for your take on things. Number 5, complaining about kids these days. It's a common refrain among older generations. Comments like, "Back in my day, we didn't rely on technology like this," or "These kids don't understand what real work is." While it may seem like a harmless way to bond with others, constantly criticizing younger generations can do more harm than good. What begins as an observation or a humorous remark can become a message of disconnection. When you constantly criticize the younger generation, it makes them feel that you're not open to understanding their perspective. It can create a barrier between you and your children or grandchildren, and it may make them less likely to open up to you. They might even feel that their world, values, and choices are being dismissed or belittled. Instead of focusing on what's wrong with the younger generation, try to approach these conversations with curiosity. Ask questions like, "What's it like for you today?" or "How do you navigate the challenges of this generation?" By being curious rather than critical, you create space for connection and mutual understanding. It helps bridge the gap between generations, allowing for a dialogue that builds respect rather than division. Number 6, ignoring modern etiquette. There's a kind of social awareness that tends to be overlooked by many older adults as they grow older. Things like speaking loudly in public, standing too close to others in line, or playing a video without headphones in shared spaces may seem like small offenses, but they can have a big impact on how others perceive you. While these behaviors may not have seemed inappropriate years ago, society's standards have evolved. People now expect a certain level of consideration when they're in public spaces. If you're doing something that disturbs others, whether it's talking too loudly on the phone or standing too close to someone, it sends the message that you're not paying attention to how your actions affect others. This can make others uncomfortable and over time create distance between you and those around you. The simple fix is to be mindful of how others behave in public spaces. Pay attention to your volume, personal space, and how you use technology when you're around others. It's not about being rigid or uptight. It's about being aware and considerate. When you show that you're attuned to the world around you, people will respond with more respect. They'll see you as someone who's still engaged, still aware, and still willing to adapt. Number 7, oversharing medical problems. As we age, it's natural to experience health challenges, and sometimes it feels good to talk about them, whether it's a bad knee, the latest doctor's appointment, or the new medications we're on. However, constantly discussing medical issues can unintentionally drain the energy of those around you. Everyone knows that aging comes with its share of physical challenges, but when the conversation revolves around complaints or health problems, it can create an emotional barrier. This is especially true for younger family members who may feel overwhelmed by conversations they can't fix. While they love you and want to support you, they might begin to withdraw emotionally because they don't know how to respond. This doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about your health at all, but it's important to strike a balance. Instead of focusing only on what's wrong, try sharing moments of joy, new experiences, or things you're looking forward to. This shift can make your interactions feel more balanced and positive, rather than being dominated by medical concerns. Number 8, being stubborn about outdated beliefs. As we age, it's natural to hold on to the beliefs and principles that guided us throughout our lives. But sometimes, these beliefs can become rigid, preventing us from adapting to the changing world around us. When we cling too tightly to outdated views, it can make us seem resistant to change or unwilling to listen to new perspectives. Statements like, "That's just how it is," or "I don't care what the experts say, I know what's right," can create a barrier between you and others, especially younger generations. They may start to see you as someone they can't talk to about certain things, or as someone who doesn't understand their struggles. Instead of holding on to outdated beliefs, try to approach conversations with an open mind. Be curious about new ideas, even if they challenge your long-held views. It's not about abandoning your values. It's about staying open to learning and growing, even in old age. The wisdom that comes with age is valuable, but when it's coupled with humility and the willingness to listen, it becomes even more powerful. Number 9, walking or moving without awareness of space. As we age, we naturally slow down a little. We may not have the same energy or mobility we did when we were younger, but that doesn't mean we should stop being aware of the space around us. Sometimes, as we become more focused on our own needs, we forget how our movements affect those around us. You may not realize it, but standing in the middle of an aisle at the store or stopping suddenly while walking can create obstacles for others. The key here isn't about moving faster or changing your pace, it's about being mindful of your space. Being considerate of others helps maintain the flow of movement in shared spaces, and it shows that you're still engaged and aware of your surroundings. Number 10, making jokes that don't age well. Humor is a great way to connect with others, but not all jokes age well. What might have been funny years ago may no longer resonate in today's world, especially when it comes to sensitive topics like race, gender, or appearance. Jokes that play off old stereotypes or poke fun at others can push people away, even if it's meant to be lighthearted. When humor is kind and inclusive, it brings people together. It shows that you're evolving along with the world around you. The best kind of humor doesn't put others down, it lifts them up. And that's the kind of humor that helps you stay connected and relevant no matter your age. Number 11, acting helpless. When you're not aging brings challenges, but sometimes people fall into the habit of acting helpless even when they're still capable. You may have caught yourself saying, "Can you just do it for me?" or "I don't know how to do that anymore." At first it might feel like an innocent request, but over time, it can create a dynamic where others feel like they are always stepping in to help, even when you're still able to do things yourself. Family and friends might feel like caretakers rather than companions, and that can subtly shift the relationship. The truth is, people admire effort. They want to see you still trying, still participating, and still engaged. Asking for help when you truly need it is one thing, but acting helpless when you're capable of doing something can erode your sense of independence and self-worth. Number 12. Pretending you're always right with age comes wisdom, but there's a difference between being wise and being stubborn. As we grow older, it's easy to think we have all the answers. However, when the need to always be right takes over, it can alienate others. People may stop listening to you, not because they don't respect you, but because the constant need to prove you're right creates tension. Wisdom comes not just from having answers, but from knowing when to listen, when to ask questions, and when to let others share their perspective. Being open to new ideas, especially from younger generations, shows humility and strength. It allows for deeper connections and fosters mutual respect. Final thoughts. Now that we've explored these 12 habits, take a moment to reflect on them. Which of these behaviors have crept into your daily life without you even noticing? Which ones surprised you, and which ones are you ready to change, even if only slightly? Remember, this video isn't about criticizing or judging, it's about self-awareness and improvement. These habits don't make you a bad person. They're simply blind spots that accumulate over time, unnoticed. Acknowledging these habits is the first step towards change. It's not about pretending they don't exist, but embracing the opportunity to do better, to grow, and to maintain the dignity, grace, and respect you've earned over a lifetime. Aging well isn't about resisting change or clinging to the past. It's about stepping into each new day with awareness, kindness, and the quiet strength that comes from accepting that there's always room to evolve. The beautiful thing is, these habits are all fixable. A little effort here, a small change there, and you'll begin to notice the difference not just in how others perceive you, but in how you experience yourself. When you show up in the world with self-respect and awareness, others will naturally mirror that respect. You'll maintain your independence, dignity, and connection with others, things that truly matter in our later years. So as you move forward, keep these signs in mind not as a checklist, but as gentle reminders to keep showing up with presence and dignity. You are still valuable, relevant, and worthy of connection, respect, and love, no matter your age. And the small changes you make today can truly transform your experience in the years ahead. If you found these insights helpful, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Which habits resonated with you the most? What changes do you feel ready to make? Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us and helps us continue creating meaningful content. Thank you for joining us today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss future videos. Your support means the world to us, and we're excited to continue this journey of growth and connection with you. Until next time, stay kind to yourself and others, and remember, it's never too late to start making small changes that lead to big improvements in your life.